We have the next question of ZCO, which is video game. So here we need to create a game which is basically having a crane involved and a set of boxes arranged in a particular way. Now this particular thing, we need to support a few commands on this. One is the moving left. The first is to move left. The second command we have is to move right. The third command we have is to pick up, and the fourth command we have is to drop. Okay, one thing we need to make sure that if we are already, if let's assume this is the width of the cranes we have, width of the stacks, let's say this is the stacks, few stacks we have, and if the crane is at a particular position, let's say if it is at the leftmost position, and if the command is move left, we do not do anything. Okay, we'll not do anything. If now let's assume the crane is at the rightmost position. If I am at the rightmost position and the command is to go right, I will not do anything. So leftmost position and the command is left, you don't do anything. On the rightmost position and the command is to move right, we don't do anything. Let's say you already have picked up a box on the crane and the command is to pick up, we don't do anything. We cannot pick up this element won't be picked up. Or if we do not have any element and the command is to drop, okay, if the command is to drop, we will not drop anything over here, it will just stay wherever it is. Okay, now further they have a limit h on the number of boxes on each stack. Okay, so each of the stacks will have a limit h, so you cannot have more than h boxes on a particular stack. Okay, now this is last thing. A drop command would result in a stack having more than h boxes. The crane ignores the drop command. If I have a drop command and based on that, if it will increase the height of it, then we'll not use the drop command. Okay, same thing applies for pickup as well. If the current stack does not have any boxes, if there are no boxes, so pickup will be simply ignored. Now given to us is an example. So for example, suppose the initial configuration of the game is as shown in the figure above with 7 stacks and h is equals to 4. Okay, so let's try to understand this example. So I have 7 stacks. Let's draw 7 stacks. I have 1 2 box on the first one, then I have 1 box on this, then I have 3 boxes, 1 2 3, then I have again a 1 box, and then I have 4 boxes, 1 2 3, and the fourth one, then I don't have any box, and I have the sixth one box over here. Let's name the stacks 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, now given to us is 7 stacks and the height is equals to 4. So maximum height we can have on a particular stack is equals to 4. Okay, now the crane will always start from the 0th position or from the very leftmost part. It will start from here. Okay, what does the first command say? Pick up the box. So we don't have anything, so we can easily pick up the box. So if I pick up the box, I can remove it from here and I can put it over here. So I've already picked up the box. Now it says to move right 1 2 3 and 4 times. I need to move right 4 times. So I'll take this, I'll go to 1 2 3 and 4. If I go 4 times right, I will be reaching at this particular position. Now what does it say? It says to drop box. Can I drop a box if I already have reached the maximum height? If I have already reached the maximum height, if I drop the box, the height will become 5, which is not possible. So I will simply ignore this command. Okay, if I ignore this command, let's go to the next one, which is move left. Okay, now if I move left, let's say if I am moving left, I am at particularly 4th position. Okay, now it again says to pick up box. Can I pick up a box if I already have a box picked up? No, I cannot pick up a box. That means I again have to ignore the 8th command. I will have to ignore the 8th command. Again, next command, what does it say? We need to move left. Okay, let's take this crane and move one more side left. Okay, now when I am at the left position, the last command I have is to drop the box. So it says to drop the box, so I'll simply remove the box from here. I'll remove the box from here and I'll put it back on this particular place where the height is less than or equal to 4. So this is the condition which is satisfied. Okay, now we don't have any further commands, so I can say at last what is my configuration, what is the amount of stacks, amount of boxes on each stack. So 1, then I have again a 1, then I have 4, then I have 1, then I have 4, then I have 0, and then I have 7. Okay, 1 1 4 1 4 0 7. So do we have it? Do we have the answer? Okay, so this is what your answer is going to look like. Okay, we don't have the answer on this, so this is how your answer is going to look like in this case. Okay, 1 1 4 1 4 0 7. Okay, we always need to make sure about this conditions, that uh, we cannot pick up if there is already a picked up box. We cannot drop if there is the amount of boxes will be greater than the height h. Okay, we need to just make sure of this conditions. Now we have been given the commands, and based on the commands, either you can move left, move right, pick up the box, or drop the box, or quit. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. We'll just make sure that these conditions are satisfied. Okay, so let's write the conditions for each of the case. So let's write the case for the first condition, okay, which is the move left condition. Move left. So can I say if the command is move left, and let's consider the value as current position. Okay, let's create a variable called as current position, which tracks the position of the crane. So can I say I can only and only move left if the value of the current position minus 1, which is going left, will always be greater than equal to 0. Can I say this is only possible when this condition is satisfied, right? So in this case I will just simply move left. Okay, when can I move right? I can move right only and only if after going right if there is a place on the right. Okay, so I can say if current position plus 1 is less than n, then and then only I can move towards the right direction. Okay, what about the third case? The third case is of pickup. When can I pick up? I need to pick up if it does not already have the it does not already have the box. Okay, so let's create a variable called as crane, and either make it as a 0 or a 1. Okay, so let's say crane is equals to 0 means the box is not there, crane equals to 1 means the box is there. Okay, so I can say if the value of crane is equals to 0, then I can pick up the box. Okay, what is one more condition they have mentioned? They have mentioned that if the current stack has no boxes, a pickup command is ignored. So can I say I can only pick up if the boxes, whatever boxes we have of the current position, is not equals to 0, right? Or I can say if it is greater than 0, either I can say not equals to 0 or I can say greater than 0. Only and only in this case I will be able to pick up the box. And if I pick up the box, I need to make sure that I reduce one box from this particular position. And lastly, for the last case we have, which is the drop box. So in drop box, when can we drop a box? We need to make sure that we have a element picked up. So if the value of crane is equals to 1, then and then only we can drop a box. And we need to say that after adding this particular thing plus 1, it should not it should be less than or equal to h. Okay, we need to make sure of this condition. The crane should have a box picked up, and after adding a box at that particular stack, it should not be greater than the height h. Okay, let's try to solve it based on this particular observation. Let's try to solve it. So what we have, let's try to first take the input. So input format, we have been given the n and the height h of the stack. So I'll write in n, height h, c in n, then height h. Okay, now once we have it, let's create the vector of boxes which we have. Let's name it as boxes n comma 0, and let's take the height or number of boxes for each position. So for int I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, we'll just take the input for the boxes. So cin greater than boxes of I. Okay, once we have taken the input, let's create two things. What we discussed, we need a position. So int c position is equals to 0, current position is equals to 0, and we'll create a variable for crane if it's 0. So I can say crane equals to 0 uh, simply signifies that uh, it does not have a box picked up. Okay, and crane equals to 1 will simply signify that it has a box picked up. Okay, now based on this, let's try to we can only exit when the command is 0. So let's run a while true loop. So I can say while true, and I need to take the input of command every time. So let's say end command and scene greater than command. Okay, so first thing I'll write the this condition. So if command equals to 0, I can say simply break. Else if, let's try to write the first, starting from the first condition, which is to move left. So else if the value of command equals to 1, what I can say, if the, I can say boxes, or I can say current position minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, if this is the case, then only I can move to the left. So I can say move left. Okay, similar condition I'll apply for right side also. If command equals to 2, I can only move if current position plus 1 is less than n. Okay, if current position plus 1 is less than n, in that case I will do c position plus plus. Okay, this is for moving right. Okay, now coming to the next condition, which is command equals to 3, which is to pick up the box. As we discussed, we can only pick up the box if there is no already other box picked up. So I can say the crane value has to be 0. So if crane equals to 0, and we need to also make sure that there is a box present at that position. We need to make sure that there is a box present at that position. So I can say boxes of C position is greater than 0. In this case, what I need to do, I need to make it as crane is equals to 1. That means the box has been picked up, and boxes of C position will be equals to, I'll just subtract 1 from it. And then we have the last command, else if the command is equals to 4, which is to drop. I can only drop if there is some box picked up. So I can say if crane equals to 1, and I need to make sure that when I drop it, the height is less than or equal to h. So I can say boxes of C position plus 1 should be less than or equal to the maximum height h. In that case only I'll drop it. So if I drop it, it becomes crane is equals to 0, and the boxes at the position will increase by 1. So this will be increased by 1. Perfect. Now what we need to do, for the output format, what we need to do is, I think we just need to print the boxes stack from the left to right. So I can say for auto is to boxes, I'll just see out I, and I'll put a space in between them. Okay, let's try to run it. Let's check. So our answer should be 2131,401. Let's try this as well, just to be sure. Let's try to run it. Answer should be 152. So we are getting 152. Let's try to submit. Okay, perfect. So this is how you can solve the second question from ZCO, which is the video game.